All right, we're working on Nate's truck today, and I forgot to start recording. But this kingpin was loose, so we had to figure out how to take all this apart. This is actually what the pin itself looks like. Let's see how this has got this undercut on it. So this presses in there like that, and then the knuckle goes on there, and then this little bearing is what goes between here and the knuckle.
Yeah, tell us in the comments if this is a trunnion bearing. I think that's what that is.
So we took all this apart, and I think Nate said that he's got a new pin and stuff, but I'm thinking this is like the sacrificial piece. But this is what we're trying to resolve, is all of this loosey-goosiness. Yeah. So this bracket is loose on the knuckle. The kingpin is loose in the axle. And basically just everything that can be loose is loose. So that's where we're at. And that's what we're fixing.
Yeah.
Okay, we're on the driver's side now. We got the passenger side all ripped apart. We'll wire brush this axle up because it was kind of crusty, and Nate's working on doing the knuckle. And we've got a kit that comes with the new bushings. We found the bushings underneath all the grease and grime. And we're going to get those pressed out.
70 years.
And then this side, the wheel bearing feels good, but it does have play in that kingpin. So we'll get that dialed in. And now that we know how to adjust these, we can tighten up all of the steering too, because these are all adjustable.
And put the bolts in the right way so we don't block it.
So that's where we're at, and that's what we're doing. Okay, we got bushings pressed in here. But we read the book, and the book says, oh, I closed the book. Anyways, the book says you gotta line hone it. That's what it says. Because we tried pushing one of these pins, one of the new ones in there. This was an old one, but it's tight. So they want you to line hone them together so that it's the right size for this. So Nate's got to go do that. But we got both sides off of there. And we found that we can adjust all of the tie rod ends too, because these are fully adjustable. So when we could probably get these cleaned up when we put them back together, tighten them up good so we can get rid of a little bit of the play that was here, and I think this one or maybe that one had it. But it's coming together. Here's the little kit that he got, and it works good. We just gotta line hone the bushings, and then we'll put it together. So that's the next step.
Alright, it's in hovercraft mode till then.
Yeah, it's a hovercraft. Alright, somehow Nate managed to talk Carlos into line honing these.
What a nice guy.
Look at that. Look at that fit.
And nice.
So now we gotta put it back together, and it looks like you put passenger on that one, so that's gotta be the driver's side then, huh?
Hey, look at that. Preemptive.
That's something.
Just really paying off.
Yeah, that's really gonna be helpful. And then we can put this thing back together. We packed some bearings and we put this side together. We did not use a shim because there's not even enough play to put a shim in there. She's toy like a toyga.
I like to see.
So now we got to put this little wedge. I don't know what that is. They call it a draw wedge. We got to put that in there. Oh, they give us new washers and everything.
Oh yeah. Right.
So we got to drive this guy in there. I think it goes from this way. And then tighten the nut down on that, and then we can stake our little cappy guys in there once we get that draw pin in. Alright, we got the driver's side all the way together. We rotated the brake line, and now we're going to turn it to see what our turning radius looks like and make sure that the brake line doesn't snap off, because that wouldn't be good.
Ready?
Okay, go ahead.
Alright.
That's like all the freaking turning radius, dude.
Look at that.
Okay. While it's turned like that, let me grease it. Alright, it got late and we forgot to record the rest of it. But anyways, it is the next day or 2 days later or some days later. We got the wheels on it. And look at this frickin' turning this thing has. Remember before? Here, hold on. Let me show you the turning radius before. Oh, come on. Oh, jeez. Okay, so the turning radius before was like that. And the reason why it was so poor before, you like that rhyme? Anyways, these bolts right here, let me get a light. These bolts that are on the bottom right there, that bolt. See, that one shining on it, and that one. Those things were mounted in there so that the threads were going towards the axle. So what was happening is when you would turn this bolt, let me fix this light situation here. So when you would turn, this bolt would hit on this side of the axle or this side of the axle, depending on where it turned. So like right here, see this guy? That bolt would be extended all the way out here and already hitting this, which was no bueno for turning radius. So we went ahead and fixed that. We flipped the bolts around the right way. We looked at the manual. Yeah, the manual told us the right way to do it. But now look at this bad boy. Look at that. I mean, you can turn way further than you need to turn. The steering wheel won't really let you turn that far anyways because this gearbox is like overextending. And then see, when you turn this far, look at what happens. This becomes straight, that pivot arm. But look at this this thing's like a drift truck now. Look at that. Hanging out there. Anywho, we got the brakes back together. We got the brakes bled. They were leaking. That was partially my fault because it was my fault. But anyways, I got that fixed. We got the brakes all back together. It's dry now because it's not leaking anymore. So's the other one, I'm pretty sure. Yep, it's dry. So we cranked it all the way one direction, cranked it all the way the other direction. We've got our turning from left to right, driver to passenger, and I need to use a lift. So I think I'm gonna move this thing out of the way, but I gotta move like multiple other things out of the way because the shop, hot mess as always. I'm gonna clean up my mess, and then I'm gonna play musical cars and trucks and cars and car parts.